Hi lovely soul, and welcome to Soul Sparks Echoes of Self. I'm Nina and I'm so grateful you're here. Now I'll be your guide as we work through the Soul Sparks series. Before we begin, I want to share something with you that's really close to my heart. Throughout this series, I'll be using pieces of my own journey because this whole offering has been built on lived experience. Everything I share with you has been forged through the lessons, healing and growth I've walked through myself. Someone once said to me, "You haven't gone through all that you have for nothing. Make it worth something." Now that moment shifted everything. It helped me move from seeing myself as a victim to recognizing myself as a survivor and eventually as a guide. I began to see my past not as a burden, but as a gift, a key. Something could unlock growth and understanding, not only for me, but for others who now stand where I once stood. So as we move through these sessions together, know that what I share comes from a place of truth, lived wisdom, and a deep desire to light the way for others who are ready to reclaim their power. I would also like to welcome you to my backyard, or to my outdoor office as I like to call it. I've had many a debate with myself about the perfect location, and really, Soul Sparks are all about embracing your authentic self, and this space is definitely authentically me. So sit back and enjoy. Now you might hear the odd kookaburra or other birds that come to join us, which will just add to the experience. Now, as this is possibly our first time together, I would love to introduce myself to you and let you know a little bit about me and my journey to where I currently am. I'm a transformational mindset coach, which is just a fancy way of saying I help people remember their worth, rewrite old stories, and rise stronger than ever. Now, helping people has always been my calling, and it's been something that I've done in one way or another for a long time. So stepping into coaching was so natural and is a perfect fit for me to make the impact that I'm so passionate about making. Now, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be real. And as a survivor, I've walked through complex trauma, heartbreak, and the kind of pain that tries to silence you. But I've also found the strength to rise, to reclaim my voice, and to help others do the same. I like to describe the space that I stand in today as the quiet eye of the storm, a place where I am now the observer of my life, making choices and decisions that are about me, instead of being at the mercy of life and all of the destroyed self-confidence that come with it. Now, I don't believe healing has to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes it's quiet, soft and fierce all at once. I can see now in all of the little steps that I took on my discovery of my authentic self. Now, in my role as a mindset coach, I hold space for those who feel like they've lost themselves and gently remind them of their worth, their wisdom, and their wild, beautiful spirit. It's about encouraging my clients to push through the resistance of their comfort zones and beginning to see beyond the stories that they and others have been saying. It's a powerful thing to be able to stand in front of someone, see the raw pain in their eyes, and be able to say, hand on heart, that I know how they feel. I'm not here just as another life coach. I'm here to spark something in you. So if you're ready, let's take the next brave step together. This series is all about those little flickers of truth inside us, the ones we often ignore, silence, or forget about altogether. Now you know the ones. I can imagine your energy right now as you feel these flickers bump around in your chest. I can also picture you dismiss them just as quickly as well. Push them down, silence them. Not today. Today we're going to listen. Today we're going to utilize your soul sparks to stretch you out of your comfort zone and start to listen to the echoes of self. This episode we're going to dive into today is called The Power of One Brave Step. You know, for a long time I believed that change had to be huge to matter. Like if I wasn't completely overhauling my life or making some dramatic exit stage left, it didn't count. But here's the truth no one really talks about. Big change usually starts small, like whisper small. Now, this might be saying no for the first time, asking for help, writing something in your journal that you've never said out loud, taking a breath before you react. These are quiet, brave moments that shift the entire trajectory of our lives. So is there a secret? Sort of. Let me explain. For me, the biggest shift came when I redefined what change actually meant. But to understand how powerful that was, I want to take a moment to explain what change used to mean to me. As a survivor of trauma, I honestly had no idea who I was supposed to be. I found myself constantly playing different roles, wearing different masks, shape-shifting to fit into different situations. It was all about other people's comfort zones, never my own. And if you've ever lost your sense of self, you'll know exactly what I mean. Survival, for me, looked like becoming whoever I needed to be in the moment. If I had to put a visual to it, I'd say it was like being in a tiny boat on a wild ocean, tacking this way and that, totally at the mercy of the wind, and whatever wind was blowing that day. I won't go too deeply into that right now because there's a future Soul Sparks episode where we'll explore exactly this, letting go of the roles and the rules that used to keep us small. However, I wanted to set the scene a little because for me, change felt massive. And more than that, it felt terrifying. It was like this huge looming presence, a ball of overwhelm that sat so heavily on my chest, I couldn't see a way over it or around it. Then something shifted. I learned a technique, a mind shift really, that changed everything. It's something I now share with my clients, and today I get to share it with you. And here it is. Don't try to change everything all at once. Just focus on one change, one brave step. Think of something you could do today, a tiny change. It doesn't have to feel big unless you feel ready. Maybe it's questioning the voice in your head that says you're not enough. Doing one small thing just for you, something fun, something light. Saying no without guilt. Drinking a glass of water because your body deserves it. Now let's zoom out for a moment. If you made one small change a day for a year, that's 365 changes. Now if you feel like that's too much, what about one change a week? That's 52 shifts in your life by the end of the year. Even one change a month gives you 12 beautiful, intentional moments of growth. The alternative? Zero change. Staying stuck in the same place because it all felt too big. Breaking down the overwhelm into tiny, doable steps takes the fear out of it. It makes change feel possible and gentle. And honestly, that's where the magic lives, not in the giant leaps, but in the quiet courage of one brave step. You know, every time you take one of those steps, even if it's wobbly, you are saying, I matter. And that sends ripples. You might not feel it, and you might not feel the shift immediately. It might not look like much from the outside, but something powerful is happening inside you. And once you take that first step, you build the courage to take another and another. The ability to shift and change is tied to your confidence and self-trust. The more you move forward, the more you become aware of the changes happening in your life, and the more your confidence and self-trust grow. Now, I understand that this might seem on the surface like a hard thing to do, but I want to gently remind you, you were born with a need to grow. It's a part of being human. To want to move forward, to stretch, to evolve. That sense of restlessness you feel, the discomfort, the stuckness, it's your soul calling you back to motion. Now I want you to think of a baby learning to walk. It wobbles on unsteady legs and falls over with a thump time and time again. But it doesn't stop. It rises again and again until one day there's a step, then two, then more. I've never seen a baby give up and say, it's just too hard. That drive to keep going, it's in you too. You may have forgotten it, but it's still in there. One of my own brave steps was to simply admit I'm not okay. Now, life for me was bleak. It was dark. And at that time, I saw no way forward, no path out. The only escape I could imagine was taking my own life. Now, in that moment, that thought felt like a strange kind of comfort. That's how heavy it was. And I don't think I'd ever felt so alone. Anyone who's walked away from an abusive relationship filled with coercive control will understand this next part. The most paralysing belief we carry, besides the deep-rooted feeling that we're unworthy, is the fear that we won't be believed. How do you ask for help when you're convinced the world won't believe your truth? Looking back now, I see that my healing wasn't one moment. It was a series of small, brave steps. Reaching out, building new friendships, learning to trust again, and slowly creating a space where I could finally reach out my hand and say those 3 powerful words, I'm not okay. I remember sitting with 2 dear friends, finally releasing my truth, pouring my heart out. And in those sacred moments, I couldn't tell whose tears were whose. For the first time in a long time, I felt heard. Now that moment cracked something open in me. It ignited a soul spark. And it didn't fix everything overnight, but it gave me permission to begin. It was the light at the end of the tunnel. It was the moment I began not only to trust others, but to trust myself. And I see this in my clients too. The fear, the disbelief, the hesitation, and then the shift. That powerful, soul-deep moment when they begin to believe that life can be different, that they have the ability to make decisions, to take small, brave steps. And from there, I get to witness something beautiful. Those steps begin to stretch into strides. Their confidence grows, their light returns, and the belief that they are not worthy begins to dissolve. That right there, now that warms my heart. So now I want to turn it over to you. But before I do, I want to say this. Your participation matters. Watching this video is a beautiful first step, and I'm so glad you're here. However, transformation doesn't happen just from listening. It happens when we lean in, when we reflect, when we do the work, even if it feels uncomfortable. This series is here to support you, but you are the one who brings it to life. Your willingness to take action, even a small one, is what unlocks change. So I lovingly invite you to not just take this in, but to engage with it, to participate, because you are worth the effort it takes to change. So, in saying that, what's one small brave step you could take this week? Not a giant leap, not a total overhaul, just one. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's being honest with yourself about something you've been avoiding. Maybe it's booking that call, or writing that email, or saying, I'm ready. Maybe you don't know where to start, and I get that. I really do. It's easy for me to sit here and wave my hands dramatically and say, go on, make a change. And maybe you are feeling revved up right now and ready to leap into action. Yes, I want to make changes, point me at them. And then you hit a wall. That inner voice creeps in and starts to question, what's a boundary? How do I even be honest with myself? I don't even know what that looks like. What do I even want to change? Now I hear you, truly. I hear this every day from the beautiful humans who come through my free Rediscover You program. In this program, we uncover the power of breaking life down into bite-sized sections. We figure out where you are right now, and from there, a pathway starts to form. Clarity begins to rise, and baby steps are born. So here's a small step that you can take today. Grab a notepad and a pen. Start writing down what it is that you want. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just get it out of your head and onto the page. Maybe it's happiness, certainty. It could be love or purpose. Whatever it is, let this be your sign that it matters. Then break it down even further. What does happiness look like to you? What does love or certainty feel like to you? And when you sit quietly and tune into your soul sparks, what does your purpose whisper? This is a process of discovery, of learning to listen to yourself again. It's about quieting the voices and the needs of everyone else so you can hear those echoes of self whispering gently inside. All of these are small and completely doable steps. If today's Soul Spark resonated with you, I'd love to invite you to explore the companion ebook for this episode. It is full of deeper reflections, journal prompts, and space for you to meet your brave steps on the page. Each section is designed to guide you inward, offering you pause, insight, and gentle prompts that spark clarity and courage. Whether you're just beginning or already well along your healing journey, this companion invites you to honour your voice, explore your truth, and reignite your inner light. Think of it as a candle for your soul, quietly illuminating what's been waiting to be seen. And I'd also like to invite you to visit my website for my blog, which is called The Unmuted Truth. There's also free resources and deeper reflections. And if you're ready to go further, I do offer limited one-to-one coaching spots where we dive into this work together in a powerful and personal way. Now, everything I offer is designed to help you move forward step by step, in your own time, in your own way. And it's all in the link below. So until next time, take that brave step. You don't need to see the whole path, just honour the whisper. Now, thank you for taking the time to spend with me today, and I look forward in seeing you in the next Soul Sparks. And until then, sending you through a huge cyber hug.